A federal judge is weighing whether to extend a temporary restraining order protecting more than 100 international students who had their visas revoked. A hearing was held in Atlanta Thursday regarding a suit that was filed by foreign students from several states, alleging that the government did not have legal grounds to terminate their visas. Across the country, nearly 300 colleges and universities have identified more than 1,800 international students and graduates who have had their legal status changed by the State Department, according to online publication Inside Higher Ed. CBS News Justice reporter Jake Rosen joins us now. Jake, what happened at Thursday's student visa hearing in Atlanta?
Well, there was no decision by the judge in this case, Lindsay, to give a more permanent reprieve to these students. However, the judge's order from earlier does go into next week, so there's plenty of time for this judge to make a decision. But really, this is one of the landmark cases that we've seen with these student visas, and it's not necessarily related to that of the Tufts University student or the Columbia University students who have had their visas revoked as the Trump administration attempts to deport them. This is just an en masse cancellation of foreign student visas here in the United States, and this is one of the biggest cases. There's 133 plaintiffs in this case from across the country who are suing to stay here and continue studying. There's certainly more to come on this. The Trump administration has made it very clear that they do intend on potentially removing these people and at least making sure, to quote, people in the Trump administration, that Americans are studying at American universities, not necessarily foreigners.
On Wednesday, a federal judge halted her demands for daily details, right, about Kilmar Abrego Garcia. This is a man mistakenly deported to El Salvador by the Trump administration. This was something the government had argued for, right, Jake? Where does this case stand?
That's right. So really what happened here, Lindsay, was that earlier this week, attorneys for Mr. Abrego Garcia said in court that the government had completely stonewalled all the questions that they had asked for in this case and refused to really answer questions about a 2 to 3 week period between the beginning of April and when Abrego Garcia was initially deported in mid-March. The two sides came to an agreement after a scathing decision from the judge in this case, which said that they were willfully non-complying with her order, artificially narrowing her order, to try to kind of skirt around it, and that they were asserting privileges that don't exist. And however, late last night, there was a 6 o'clock deadline. Both sides agreed to push all the discovery and the fact-finding in this case back a week. And a number of things that we've seen filed in this case have actually been under seal, meaning we don't know necessarily what's been going on in terms of the daily updates that we saw up until last night, but also in just the details that the government has shared in terms of why this should be delayed. Certainly more to come. There's no hearing currently scheduled in this case, but likely after next week on Wednesday, there will be some kind of discussion about a hearing, and potentially some of this will come to light.
And so the discovery is pushed back a week, Jake, but do we know if there is an indefinite end to the stoppage of daily updates? When will daily updates have to pick up again?
It'll likely be next Wednesday, Lindsay. We did not see one last night from the Department of Justice.
Okay. Another federal judge ordered the Trump administration to return another Venezuelan man who was deported to El Salvador despite being protected from removal. What can you tell us about this case?
So this is a 20-year-old Venezuelan man who came into the United States as an undocumented minor. There was a class suit that wanted to protect these people from being deported and temporarily granting them asylum as their immigration cases were adjudicated. This started in 2019. There was a settlement last year in the case of this man and a number of other people. In a court filing, an ICE official said in this case that this man was caught with cocaine on him and that he could be deported because of that. However, the judge's order in this case and in the settlement says that this is still a breach of contract, as the judge in the case put it. It's a Trump-appointed judge in Maryland who said that this man should have never been deported, and he was a part of that same batch of 3 flights, Lindsay, that happened on March 15th that are the subject of so much controversy and court cases and infighting between the executive branch and the judicial.
Okay, Jake Rosen, thank you.